Hey everybody, Jesse Macpherson. Just wanted to put this video together to have an opportunity to share with you why it is that my wife and I decided to partner with Seacret. And I apologize, I would love to have the opportunity to personally communicate with every single one of you, but unfortunately because of time constraints it's just not possible. But we are very excited about our new business venture, as well as all the other projects in our life that we're working on aside from our partnership with Seacret. But wanted to share with you just a few things that really were important to me in making an empowering decision with aligning with this incredible company. And in order to do so, I want to kind of take you back to the story of really kind of how it happened for me. I was actually called from my brother-in-law in Chicago, my wife's sister's husband, and said, hey, I'm looking at working with this company called Seacret. Would you be interested? And I was like, no. But he said, well, will you at least come evaluate it for me? And I said, okay. And I literally went to go take a look at it, initially intentionally to just really shoot bullet holes in it, honestly to tell him not to do it. And after having an opportunity to meet the owners of the company and hear the story of where they are and where they're coming from, my wife and I flew home and like, what do you think? What do you think? And just really saw a home run for our family that was very congruent with our goals and our values and the things that we saw ourselves projecting into over the next few years with our vision statements. And so I'll share with you a little bit about the story that was shared with me, and something that you may relate to or not. But basically, the company is actually really a 12-year-old company from the beginnings of where it started. And for those of you guys that don't know anything about Israel, our companies are owned by a family, really, an Israeli family. And in Israel, after you graduate from school, you go to the military mandatory service for a few years, and most Israelis travel after that. And the oldest brother of 6, Moti, Ben Shabbat, ends up coming to Texas to work in an ice cream truck and ends up saving some money, buying a couple trucks, and calls his younger brother Isaac, who's in Israel, who's flying jets for the military, and says, hey, I think you should come take a look. We got this amazing business and we're going to take over the world and it's going to be awesome. And basically what happens is Isaac comes out to tell his brother Moti that he's not going to be coming to build a business. He's going to stay in Israel with the military. But through a process of events that happen, the entire family sells everything in Israel, moves to America, family of 6 with their mother and father, just beautiful people, had a chance to spend some time with them. But as a result of that, they figured out that ice cream trucks weren't going to be enough. They wanted to get into real estate, but they didn't have the capital, and so they took some of their money and bought a kiosk in the mall. And this was back in the late 90s when kiosks really didn't have anything in them but kind of cell phones and cars and stuff like that. But what happened in that period of time is they found a toy in China. You guys, I'm sure, are familiar with this, the Zoom copters, where when you pull the string and the helicopter flies around the mall. That was these guys, and they did very well, made a lot of money with it. And then they realized they wanted something that wasn't seasonal, something they could sell year-round. After doing market research, they found skincare being such a dominant player in the marketplace. And so through this process, they said, well, as a natural fit, being from Israel, they have the Dead Sea. Now, I didn't know anything about the Dead Sea other than it was dead, I guess. But basically, the Dead Sea is an amazing place. It's a natural spa. Millions of people travel there every single year, and I encourage you to do your research. Go Google it, check it out, learn a little bit about it. But they took these products from Israel, from the Dead Sea, that were manufactured there, and started selling them in their kiosks. And they started in 2002 with 20 kiosks, and it exploded, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And as it started to grow, their business started to expand, not just in the United States, but internationally, because some of their friends that were working in their kiosks from Israel started traveling to places like Australia, and they were like, hey, there's malls here too. So they said, can we open one here? And they said, yeah. So they started expanding internationally, and it was amazing the growth of the company. And in 2005, they had about 240 kiosks, and they decided it was time for them to launch their own brand. And so they actually specifically designed their products to be demonstratable, to be shared in that retail kiosk space. The first time that a skincare product line had basically been designed to be sold in that particular space. And so as a result of that, they launched their Seacret brand in 2005, and things started growing from there. 240 kiosks to 480 kiosks. And when I was hearing the story, one of the things that caught my attention as Isaac was sharing this with me is that in 2005, when they brought all their operators that ran their kiosks together, at that time they owned all of them, they basically said, hey, we're launching our Seacret brand, everyone's very excited, and by the way, we're giving you the business. And they empowered these operators to own their own business now. And with stake in the game, very excited about this wealthy community that they were looking to create. They built something magnificent with this amazing family, really. And everyone being Israeli, it was easy to kind of gather and keep everyone together. And At 240 kiosks, the next day doubled to 480 kiosks, and it started growing into hundreds and hundreds. And one of the reasons they capped out is because they couldn't get as many visas from Israel to get as many people to come work in these kiosks. So the operators are doing well, and their commitment to helping make sure that the person that was working on the kiosk was doing very, very well was amazing. And we just really enjoyed the community and the culture that they were looking to build. And so to make a long story, I guess, a little longer at this point, what happens in 2009 is they're doing over $100 million in retail sales in kiosks in the mall. Now, here's something interesting I want you to think about is, nobody wakes up, one day and says, hey, I can't wait to go to the mall and get sold at a kiosk, something I didn't plan on buying, but they were still selling $100 million a year of these when they're competing with people like Macy's and Nordstrom's and Apple and Victoria's Secret right there in that same space. And so, in the kiosk, you're kind of like an enemy in the middle of the mall. So, how is it they were doing this? And the reason they were converting is because they had something that was demonstratable, something that could show somebody an effect or result within seconds or minutes where people would be like, wow, and they'd fall in love with the products. Because, spending $100, $200 at a kiosk, with an unknown brand, isn't a very common thing to do, but they managed to be able to do it so well. And so what happens in 2009 is L'Oreal comes to try to purchase Seacret. And what they said to L'Oreal was, well, this is our family and friends. We can't sell you our family and friends, so that's just not going to happen. But L'Oreal actually has a manufacturing plant in Israel, which is another funny story, how that happened, but we'll save it for later. And so they said, okay, great, well, maybe we can make a partnership, and L'Oreal began manufacturing Seacret's products in 2009. Now, L'Oreal, for those who don't know, $20 billion plus company, they own 500 brands, and Seacret is the first brand that they've manufactured that they don't currently own. And so this exciting partnership led them to kind of take Seacret to the next level and get out of just the kiosks and move into the retail space. And so they were actually in a contract to set up with 500 retail locations inside the mall to move from just the kiosks to inline in the stores. The challenge was they couldn't get enough visas from Israel to get as many people here, so they had to start hiring Americans. And through this process, a weird circle of events happened to where there was a girl in Arizona, her name is Betty Perez, amazing young woman that started selling at their kiosk and doing very well, started breaking all the records. And when they brought her in to interview her to ask her where she got her training in network marketing. And they asked her, well, do you know more of these network marketers? Because we need more people like you to be able to kind of facilitate this business plan of ours in 2010. And she said, guys, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think you need to change your business model. I don't think you should be going in a retail space. That's kind of a dying age. I mean, social media, you guys need to be going into network marketing. You need to be able to get these products in the hands of people. And quite honestly, when you have an opportunity to talk with the Ben Shabbat family and Isaac and Moti, they were offended by it. They were like, oh, network marketing, that's no good. Those things are scams. And they said, but heck, we can save, go get all your network marketers and bring them here and we'll save them from what they're doing. And because they didn't understand anything about the industry of networking and really the empowerment behind it. Unfortunately, though, there are a lot of companies out there that don't empower people and really are taking advantage of people. There are some great ones out there, but just like any industry, there's good and bad. But through this process, they start doing some research and looking at networking and looking at the wave and looking at not United States network marketing, but worldwide network marketing and the Direct Selling Association and what's happening, and looking at skincare and looking at the dominant player in the industry being skincare, and taking a look at the fact that they had actually something really demonstratable that you could literally show somebody in seconds or minutes to give them a result to go wow, to have them make a purchase. And so through this concept, they decided, you know what, let's kind of research this more and let's do a little bit of research behind it. And so in 2011, the beginning of this year in January, they beta test this, and they basically had about 1,000 people join in about 40 days. So they were excited about the potentials of moving into the networking field, but still with some reservations. Wasn't quite sure if they could find the right community to drive this business model from this family that they had created moving forward, and how that was going to work with their already $100 million a year retail kiosk business. And so they restructured some things, changed their compensation, really to drive the correct behavior that they were looking to. And then in May, they launched a full-scale transition, as we're going through right now, into network marketing worldwide. So now that you know a little bit about the history of the company, kind of share with you some more of the reasons why we decided to partner with this incredible organization and what they've already created. So in network marketing, one of the things that you're looking for is an opportunity to be first, get there early. And it's one of the most exciting things to, go into a company that's going to momentum. The challenge is there's a lot of risk usually involved with a startup company because you don't know, there's no track record. They're usually starting with 1 or 2 products, so their service may be untested if they're a service-based company. So they may have a great concept and the right ideal. Sometimes they grow too fast and the company can't even handle it, as happened with other networking companies. Sometimes the infrastructure isn't there. They don't have the money or the capital to be able to pull it forward. Or, there's a lot of different variables and equations that come into it. Now, there's always risk in no matter what kind of business that you're doing, and no risk, no reward. But one of the things that we saw here was that this isn't a startup. Now, granted, it's brand new, first to the game when it comes to networking and being there first, but you have really a 12-year-old business model that's been together with this family that's been working together. But with Seacret, a 6-year-old company from 2005 that's already done $600 million in retail sales. Something that has the backing of the Dead Seas, even the biblical side of the Dead Sea. When you start looking at it, it's just amazing. You start looking at the healing properties of it, which are amazing. You start looking at being manufactured by L'Oreal, the largest manufacturer of cosmetics and skincare in the entire world. So a lot of different factors that play into this, but at the same time, they have demonstrable products, something that doesn't take, months or weeks to create a result, something that you can show somebody immediately. And so a lot of product companies I found out are really a lot of internal consumption, meaning it's difficult to leave the network because most of the people that are only buying their products are a part of the distribution network. And the behavior that it drives for a lot of the people is because a lot of times to get somebody interested in your product or your service, especially product companies, you have to buy the product and pass it out to somebody to get them interested in using it. And hopefully they like it. And, it's a great business model. There's nothing wrong with that. But one of the reasons why we love this business model was the fact that because the product were designed to be demonstratable, sold in the kiosk, not for networking, what happens is the distribution has the ability to buy the product, to own the product, and instead of having to give it to somebody to get them excited about it, they can just simply demonstrate a piece of it or just a bit of it to create a result now, because we're in instant gratification society, we want things immediately, to be able to share that with them, to be able to create a sale, to be able to create a result inside their business without having to give away hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of product to get people interested in becoming affiliates with the program or reps or agents with the program. So, the internal consumption part of it, the other thing I loved about it, what they wanted to do is kind of change the game and be really a breath of fresh air for the industry. And one of the things, because network marketing has been known for making a lot of money with events, and that's historical. I mean, if you look, to almost all the companies, whether it be, selling different things to the events. Now, I don't personally believe that there's anything technically wrong with that. If you're providing value to the marketplace, then amazing. But one of the things I loved here was the opportunity to have a free event system. To have the meetings and trainings on a weekly basis be free for all the agents, all the reps, and all the associates. So they don't have to worry about coming out of pocket to come build their business on a weekly basis. They can just simply focus on building. And I like that concept to where there wasn't an agenda from the people that were running the events that was different from the agenda of the people in the room. The sole focus was simply on building and growing and educating. The other reason why, some of the other things that we really enjoyed about the company was the fact that they were already in 32 countries. They already had a worldwide operation. They already had 5 distribution centers all over the world. They already had a full product line. 32 products and 12 more coming soon. They've already been tested. They've already been proven. And they're demonstrating on their kiosks an average of 60 people a day, which means thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of demonstrations on a daily basis that gives them feedback on what they need to do to tweak or modify their products to be able to have them retail even better. And not only that, right now what they're doing is they're taking this $100 million a year business in their retail kiosk sales, and they're actually transitioning it all into the network, which means they're looking for qualified people, qualified networkers that know how to work a business, know how to do in-home presentations and sit-downs and share with people how to grow. And they're transitioning and basically taking to look all of those kiosks and put them inside of people's organizations. And here's why. Because they didn't want to get rid of the kiosks because they're such a great brand for the company. But at the same time, retailing and networking don't really go very well together. So what they're doing is they're beta testing this right now, and it's amazing what's going on right now. We're very excited about it, where they're asking people, hey, would you like to learn about opportunities to earn income with Seacret, or would you like to get free product? And they're basically collecting leads from the kiosks, an average 150 to 200 leads a week. And that's not even with the operators really focusing on creating leads and actually converting those leads into new reps and new agents and new sales and new preferred customers. So we're very excited about being first globally and having an opportunity. My wife's on her way to Colombia really much as I'm filming this video, which is exciting to basically help in that. And we're in communication with Brazil, and we just launching Argentina. Mexico's this week. South Korea is this week, and many, many more to come. And most of the countries, we already have kiosks there. We're just looking for qualified people to help us go grow it. And so that's one of the things we're really excited about, is seeing the opportunity for people with no background, with no networking experience, be able to come in and be able to do well. and we're excited about helping them grow globally, expand their systems, put some amazing things together with them, as well as all the other business ventures that we're involved with, and as well as Seacret's partnership with These Numbers Have Faces, an organization that is committed to educating leaders and developing countries and people really all over the world, starting in South Africa. So we're just excited to be partnered with such an amazing group of people. And I just ask you, when you're making decisions based upon what it is that you want to do with your life, is get educated, and make an empowering decision based upon what is that's important to you. And I could give you 100 more reasons. Obviously, I love traveling, so the opportunity to be able to go global sounds spectacular to me, obviously. And I could give you another 100 reasons why my wife and I chose to go with Seacret, but they're just reasons. And I'm sure you could come up with 100 reasons to do something or not to do something as well, and if I asked you what the real reason was, you could probably come up with a different reason, but reasons are just made up, so here's really it. And I chose to work with Seacret because we chose to work with Seacret. We just really want to see people empowered in whatever it is that they do. It's not about tearing anyone down. We're very grateful for all the experiences that we had, through our course of our lives. And at this point in time, we're very excited about our journey here as well. So thank you for taking an opportunity to view this video, and hopefully maybe this created some clarity for you. And as you can see, if you watched my last video, we weren't really that happy. And I can tell you that the last month, really, I have been just euphoric in terms of where it is we're going and what we're doing and what it is we're up to, because we're literally looking to create a cause and an impact in this entire world. And if it's something that you would love to be a part of with us, we would love to have you on board. So hopefully this video finds you well.